Today we'll be talking about our transportation planning projects. My other members are Sonika Karki and Mohammad Hussain Rashidi. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Katian for his valuable suggestions and guidelines regarding the projects. And in our presentation outline, we will be talking about the study area, transportation problems, future transportations, objective and goals, and finally some transportation solutions. So we choose City of Houston as our study area. We have chosen this for various purposes because it is one of the major city connecting the Gulf Coast and the major cities of the country. And there are a lot of populations of around 2.3 million peoples, and the city is expanding day by day. So consequently, it posing a lot of threats on its traffic transportation infrastructures. And therefore, we are facing a lot of challenges in the city of Houston. The first and foremost problems, like as usual in other cities, the traffic congestions, longer commute times, and the environmental problem is also increasing day by day because of the car-centric focus of the city. Next, we collected data about the land use, socio-demographics, socio-economics, and the transportation characteristics from the OpenStreetMap and the American Community Survey. So the left map where we can see the land use pattern of the city. Low density development is one of the main defining characteristics of the city of Houston's. And there are some zoning regulations as well that because the city is large and there are preference for the single family, so the city is expanding to the suburb. So here we can see that like it's mostly those yellow colors box are residential part and they're expanding to the outskirt of the downtown as well. And the right side, there are two maps. So the median age of the city of Houston peoples, left one is for the male and the right one is for the females. Here we can see that mostly the age is below 50 for both male and females up to the fourth quintile. Here we are talking about the race, like top left part is showing the white alone peoples, while the northeastern side have some dark colors representing higher number of white peoples. And in the top right portions, those dark colors again are presenting in the northeast and the southern part. And also there are like American Indian, Alaska, Native alone, and Asian people in the city of Houston because it's a diverse city. A lot of different racial peoples are living there. We have median household income of the city of Houston people as well in the left map. So it ranges from very small income to very high income, like as 250K. So mostly in the northeastern side and in the Galveston regions, and also in the downtown part, like there are high income peoples. At last, we have on transportation characteristics for the city, which is accessibility of the city of Houston people for transit access, which ranges from 0 to 1, where 0 means low access and 1 means high transit access. So here we can see that in the central downtown has high access for transit for the city of Houston peoples, but in the northeastern side, in the Galveston region, they have less access. So finally, considering those data and background information, we'll be talking about the transportation problems. There are three transportation problems we listed. First one is the non-motorized problems called lack of sidewalks. There are actually 5,600 miles out of 9,200 miles of non-highway. And also we need around 18,000 more miles of sidewalk. And there is a figure from the result of street assessment at Galveston. So here we can see that the red lines represent no sidewalks, which represents uh, a huge portion of the city street. Considering those sidewalk problems, the arises like pedestrian accident, lack of accessibility, and the quality of life. And but however, although the city is trying to assess and address those problems, there are challenges regarding limited funding and resistance from the owners because according to the City of Houston policy, the owners are responsible for the maintenance of those sidewalks around them. And mostly there are institutional and cultural inertia as well because of its car-centric focus. Next, I'll hand over to Sonika for presenting the rest of the transportation problems and future transportations. Thank you.
Thank you, Imran. Now let's talk about the motorized transportation problem. First, we talk about the traffic congestion. Traffic congestion in Houston has always been the major transportation problem, and traffic congestion is also driven by rapid population growth, and the causes might be limited public transit, traffic accidents, population growth, car centric infrastructure compounding the issue, while ongoing transportation projects and the city's susceptibility to severe weather events adds an unpredictable element to traffic congestion, which also has an economic impact, air quality, emergency response delays, and also hinder the traffic flow. Despite the effort to enhance public transportation, expand road capacity, and implement technology driven solutions, the challenge persists and reflecting the complex dynamics of managing population growth in a sprawling urban landscape. The solutions might be investment in public transit and smart traffic management system. So the another motorized problem can be the lack of public transportation, which is a comprehensive problem in Houston, and the causes of lack of public transportation is the urban layout, historical preference of private vehicle, car-centric city, low population density in some areas, and limited funding for the lack of for the public transportation. And the challenges of lack of public transportation might be like environmental effect, traffic congestion, limited mobility options, economic disparities in the population of different economic groups, and the some of the solutions which we might adopt for the lack of public transportation are investment in public transit, regional coordination, implementation of bus rapid transit. And now let's talk about the future transportation. In future transportation, we have six mobility options, and the first one is electric vehicle. So electric vehicle can be one of the sustainable option for the future transportation, which is also energy efficient. And thanks to electric vehicle, which promise to transform the automotive industry with their zero emission battery technology breakthrough and expanding charging infrastructure. So the another option might be delivery drone, which is also one of the most uh, expected future transportation, which will provide a quick and effective way to go cargo. And this aerial vehicle could completely transform last mile delivery to technological improvement, which is also reduce traffic, shorten delivery times, offer a fresh automated method of moving goods and deliveries. Similarly, the third one we have is autonomous vehicle, which is also represented by autonomous car, which uses scouting technology for its self-driving capabilities. This is more convenient, and this type of transportation is by improving safety, increasing efficiency, and changing the way people and things are transported. And the fourth one is sustainable public transit. The future of urban mobility is in sustainable public transportation, which uses renewable energy sources, eco-friendly technologies, and effective transit system to address environmental issues, lower carbon emissions, and encourage more sustainable and inclusive modes of transportation. And the fourth one we have is flying taxi, which are a cutting edge and future mode of transportation that travel around the cities by using their vertical takeoff and landing capabilities. These aerial vehicles are propelled by electric motors and also reduce traffic on the ground and allow effective point to point transit. And then the last one we have is a revolutionary future mode of transportation for the high speed Hyperloop concept. It is powered by low pressure tubes and designed to reach extremely high speeds, which will cut down on the amount of time it takes to travel between the cities and also promises the lower environmental impact and increased efficiency. Therefore, Hyperloop offers a novel and revolutionary solution for long distance travel. And now I'd like to ask Imran to continue with the rest of the presentation. Oh, sorry, Mohammed.
Thank you, Senika. Uh, okay, let's talk about objectives and goals. There are several ideas that are common to all communities regarding the mobility systems, which can be shaped into some values. These values are accessibility, sustainability, efficiency, safety, and economic prosperity. But By 2035, it was anticipated that the population of Houston increased by more than 700,000 people. And research shown that poor Black and Hispanic neighborhoods require more time to reach their routine destination than the other residents of the Houston. So the policymakers should consider environmental and health considerations when they're expanding the mass transit systems in Houston. But so far, by implementing the city's climate action plan, the city intends to reduce carbon emissions by increasing electric and low emission vehicle fleets, reducing vehicle miles traveled per capita, and providing commuters with reliable and safe transportation options. But our objectives can be categorized into two approaches that we were discussing before. For the motorized approaches, which we had traffic congestion and lack of public transportation, we have the option of increasing the number of high occupancy or HOV lanes on major highways and implementing intelligent transportation systems or ITS, which we're going to discuss later. But these technologies can be used to collect traffic data, monitor traffic in real time, and connect people looking to carpool or rideshare. And for the lack of public transportation, we can enhance the existing light rail system and increase the fleet arrival frequency, especially for buses. All of these options would help us to reduce traffic congestion and improve the air quality. But for the non-motorized problem that we have, which was the lack of safe and comfortable sidewalks for pedestrians, two options that we have would be increasing the budget for sidewalk construction and maintenance and expanding the number of bicycle lanes and pedestrian crossings, which will lead to enhancing the pedestrian safety and encourage more people to walk and bike. And Emran will continue this presentation.
Thank you, Mohammed. So this part of the presentation will be talking about the transportation solutions. So our first solution is intelligent transportation systems. Mohammed already gave some brief overview about that, which we are providing as an operational perspective because it's a network of small devices and sensors like CCTV cameras and like all other signaling new signal technologies like adaptive traffic signals, also dynamic matches sign. So the overarching goal is to reduce traffic congestion and improve travel time reliability. Here we can see a implementation of cameras on US 290 in the Houston Transtar app. So there are a lot of technologies already been implemented of the ITS. It has been so popular because of its like current informations uh, at the very best and providing the travelers in time informations to make the to select their route, to move when they should depart, those kind of stuff. And we are recommending a plan for the smartphone app which will integrate with all of the ITS technologies like about the weather, about where the route is closer, about the parking and everything when they will be heading to. So this way they could minimize a lot of problems in terms of traffic congestions and improve their commute time. However, there are a lot of challenges. Mostly it is costly and there requires a lot of investment and resources. And because it's technology driven, so there are a lot of issues in terms of bugs, security, and reliability. It also raises some ethical and social concern because of data. And so the various cities are like trying to propose that data privacy opt-in and opt-out options. Our next solution is dockless bikes and scooters, which is from the travel demand perspective because it is shared vehicles that can be rented by users by smartphone, and it is a mode of active transportations which improves the air quality. There have been a lot of research around the world that it is a sustainable options in terms of reducing the number of trips and also reducing like carbon dioxide emissions per day. However, considering those benefits, it has a lot of challenges as well. The first one is the safety challenges, like when someone ride on the bicycles near the street, they could face like safety challenges, risk of accidents, collisions, and also like a traffic stress. And there are a lot of equity concern historically, people of low income, racially minor, disabled peoples. And finally, there are some regulation issues regarding the coordination and cooperation between the public and the private sector with regard to technology standard. And our final solution is autonomous transit circulator, which is one of the future that we are heading to. It is the solution from the travel behavior perspective, which is system of autonomous vehicles that operate on dedicated lanes or tracks. And the goal is to increase the availability and the affordability of public transit because Houston is more like car-centric city and peoples of public transportations and active transportations have been neglected by the decision makers and the planners. So we are suggesting, recommending that Houston could involve or could operate in Houston those autonomous transit circulator by connecting some of the key areas and attractions in the city. Also, they could accommodate ATC by utilizing some of the current and planned structures like overhead tracks, underground passages, or overpasses. Finally, they could also employ new structures like vertical landing, takeoff, ports, or aerial terminals. So this is our solutions and our projects. Thank you everyone for your attentions.